Hey, fellow gamers. Well, we're down here again, and I just can't stay away from these arcade games. Been promising myself to devote more time making videos with the home console games, but here lately my home console collection's been ignored, and I just can't stop filling my basement up with more games I can't afford. So, decided just to kind of do a quick review kind of video thing on Satan's Hollow, and this is one of my new games that I recently picked up. I also recently picked up a Donkey Kong, but I won't be doing a video on that one because they're probably a dime a dozen on YouTube. Obviously, it's a very popular game, but there's not too many videos on this one, so just figured I would do a kind of a quick discussion on it. This is Satan's Hollow, and it was released in 1982, I believe, by Bally Midway. The copyright on the game itself is 1981, but there's other copyrights on the artwork that suggest it was released in 82. So we'll go with that. I really don't have any childhood memories of this game, and I actually just recently discovered it a few years ago. Wasn't really planning on buying one, but I found a good deal on this one and brought it home, and I'm really glad I brought it home. It's a very fun and addicting game. But we'll discuss the gameplay dynamics in a minute. I would imagine this game probably stirred up a lot of controversy in the Bible Belt with all the basically the artwork. It's puts off a very satanic image. Obviously, the name of the game is Satan's Hollow, for crying out loud. And, Satan makes an appearance on the marquee and also on both sides of the game. And the control panel also is just kind of very dark looking and very wicked. This game is in the MCR lineup of Bally Midway games. There are other games that are more popular in the series, mainly Tron and Spy Hunter. And speaking of Tron, the control panel reminds me a lot of Tron. It's got the same kind of transparent joystick. This one is red, and it's also got the black light on it. Each side of the control panel, you have a shield, or each side of the joystick, rather, you have a shield button. So what's really nice about the control panel is it works really well for both right and left-handed players. You also have the instructions right here. Insert coin, select one or two players. Control grip moves fire base right and left. Trigger fires missile. Shield energy indicated by 0 to 15 timer. Destroy attacker to earn bridge part. Assemble bridge over flaming canyon. Cross bridge to destroy Satan for bonus points, and extra fire based barrel with a maximum of 3. So one look at the gameplay and you realize, well, this game isn't really so demonic after all. You're doing battle with Satan and his minions, and it's really just like a 2D shooter game, kind of like Galaga and Galaxian, but there are some added elements to it, which we'll discuss in a minute. Another thing is this game has the original battery in it right now. I will be replacing that. I've actually gotten advice to replace it with a just a standard cordless phone battery, which I will be trying that out. Obviously, I'm going to be losing my high scores. I just scored 134,000 on this last night. I don't know if that's a good score or not, but it's more than doubled what my original high score was from since I've got the game. I've had it for a couple weeks, so we'll see how I can do on getting a high score. But anyway, let me get the tripod set up, and we'll coin up a game, and we'll discuss the dynamics of the gameplay. Okay, so we got the tripod set up, and we'll coin up a game here. And we'll start a game. Starts off with the Flight of the Valkyries music, which is pretty cool. Move the stick right or left and fire, just like a shooting game. But you can see every time I defeat an enemy, a bridge segment appears on one side of the screen. And you need to bring it over to the other side of the board. Come here, you little bastard. Now every time you beat a level, you get a flag, which will come into play in a minute. You get a shield that works for a short amount of time. You can see my shield timer on that bottom corner there. Now I built the bridge. We'll defeat whoever this is, Old Nick or Beelzebub or whoever. Now we've got the bridge built, we can go into the land of Satan where the game gets its name. And it starts off pretty easy. Get 1,000 points for every flag you've got. And I added a barrel to my cannon. And the really cool thing about this game is as the levels progress, the game gets pretty challenging pretty quickly. You'll see what I mean in a minute. You also get these guys that try to take your extra lives away. You can see I just shot him down. Also, as the levels progress, the background gets darker, and the enemies get harder and harder to see. You can see the bridge bomber just took out one of my bridge segments, too. Oh, no, you don't. And each time you feast Satan, he gets a little more challenging too. There you go. The lake of fire gets bigger, as you can see. So you need to collect more bridge segments. And you can see what I was talking about earlier, it starts getting dark. Eventually the dark will turn into light again, depending on how far you get into the game. But you can see it turns it's a pretty challenging game. You're doing a lot of multitasking, which normally I'm not a big fan of. I like simple games. But I think in this game it works really well. See, now you can see it's dark out. So all you can see really of the enemies are their red eyes. There goes my last life. The only thing that kind of really sucks about this game is that although it does save the top 10 high scores, you only have 2 initials, whereas most games have 3. But either way, there you go. If you're a big fan of shooting games, I highly recommend getting something like this. It's a very fun and challenging game. And if you can look past the satanic imagery of it, like I said, it's a great game, and I highly recommend picking one up. They're probably a little hard to find compared to some other games in the MCR lineup, but when you do find one, they're usually not too terribly expensive. So there you have it. There's Satan's Hollow, and we'll see you next time.